Hello, English students. Let's talk about thesis statements. Now, a thesis statement is really a compass or a guide for your essay. It sums up all of your main points and gives a direction as to where you're going in your essay. The thesis statement really does two things. It does one thing for the reader, which is it helps to identify your main points, and it helps the reader to understand where you're going to be going with this essay. If the reader cannot understand where you're going from the introduction paragraph, you haven't done your job. Many people mistakenly think I want to create some sort of mystery, some sort of magic in the introduction. And they write something that is very vague, very unappealing. They don't even state what they're going to write about in the thesis statement. So it's just horrible. Don't do that. Don't be vague. Don't be mysterious. What I want you to do is I want you to write a clear, defined thesis statement. Now, for you, the writer, what the thesis statement should do is it should sum up your main points, and it should keep you on track or give you guidance while you're writing. Everything that you write should point back to the thesis statement. And if you're looking at your main points, your body paragraph, your conclusion, if it doesn't go back to the thesis statement and match with it, cut it out of your essay. You don't need it. It's garbage. Okay? Now, the thesis statement is best placed at the end of the introduction paragraph. I know some people will tell you other places, but it's not true. Don't listen to them. The best place for the thesis statement is at the end of the introduction paragraph. It always has been. It always will be. If you're the best writer in the world, maybe you can fit it in somewhere else. But for now, as long as we're beginning English students, try and put your thesis statement at the end of the introduction paragraph. It's almost always going to fit in best right there. And that is going to be the end focal point of your introduction paragraph, which will lead the reader right into your body paragraph, understanding exactly what you're going to write about. Your thesis statement itself should do two things. And if you want to write a really, really good thesis statement, it should do three things. First, your thesis statement should discuss your main topic. It should mention what the main topic is. Point the second, your thesis statement should detail your stance or your position on that topic. There are only two things that we will ever write about in academic writing. We will be writing informatively or we will be writing persuasively. And whether you are writing to inform or whether you are writing to persuade, you're going to need to write a thesis statement that gives your topic and your stance on that topic. Now, if you want to be really detailed, the third thing that you want to include in your thesis statement is your summary of your evidence. Give just a little bit of detail, a little bit of recap of some of the things, or I should say pre-cap, not recap. Give a little bit of detail of what you're going to be talking about throughout your essay. So the three things that your topic, sentence, cut that, sorry. The three things that your thesis statement should have is that it should state your main topic. Then you need to state your stance or your position on that main topic. And if you want to write a good thesis statement, include a summary of some of the evidence that you'll be presenting in the essay as well. So now that you know what your thesis statement should be, let's talk a little bit about what your thesis statement should not be. I do not want to see these things in your thesis statement. It is going to ruin it. It is going to make it a mess, and your grade is going to suffer. More importantly, your paper is going to suffer. And it's going to be horrible if you do those things, because what I'm going to mention are not thesis statements. You may think it is, but it's not. A thesis statement should never, ever, ever be a question. It's called a thesis statement for a reason, because it's a statement, not a question. These essays are not scientific hypothesis papers where you're going to pose a question and then give an answer. That's weak, crappy writing, and I want to see strong, elegant writing when I read your essays. So when you write your thesis statement, never phrase it as a question. Always state it as a statement that gives your topic and your stance and perhaps a summary of your evidence. Next, your thesis statement should not be a list of items. If you give a list of items, that's wrong. It's not a thesis statement. Revise it. Next, your thesis statement should be 1 to 2 sentences only. If your thesis statement goes on for 3 or more sentences, it's bad, it's horrible, it's awful. Rewrite it. It's garbage. Your thesis statement really should just be one sentence. One sentence thesis statements are the most effective thesis statements and usually the most well-written thesis statements. Keep it to one sentence. Another thing is, don't just list off facts. It's the same thing as causing a list in general. Don't just list off facts in your thesis statement, because a thesis statement is not a list of pre-proven facts. A thesis statement is a topic, identifying your topic, and then adding in your stance or perspective on that topic and what you're going to be talking about. That's what the thesis statement is. Finally, this is my personal pet peeve. Do not announce, do not tell what you're about to do in your essay. If you start your essay by saying, in this essay, I am going to, that is horrible. That is horrible writing. And I understand why you do it, because some teacher in the past told you that that's a great way to start it, but they were wrong. Please do not ever start your essays by saying, in this essay, I will, or in this essay, I will be explaining, in this essay, or this essay is about. Don't do it. That is not a thesis statement. That is you giving me, the reader, and me, the instructor, unnecessary information about what you're going to do in this essay. I don't need to know what you're going to do. I need to see what you're going to do. I need you to do what you're going to do. I do not ever need you to tell me what you're going to do. I need you to very specifically and very detailedly tell me what your main topic is. I need you to tell me what your stance or position on that topic is. And I need you to give me a summary of your evidence. I do not ever need you to tell me what you will be doing in this essay, because that's weak writing and you're above that. You're in college now. Let's move beyond it and let's be better writers. So, quick things of what your thesis is not. The thesis is not a question. The thesis is not a list. The thesis is not a list of facts. The thesis is not just the topic. The thesis also is not, obviously not a question, right? I think I said that. It's not a question because it's a statement. And do not announce what you're going to do in this essay. Just do it. Keep your thesis statement clear and concise by telling me what your main topic is, what your stance or perspective on the topic is, and give me a summary of your evidence, and you will write a well-developed, wonderful thesis statement every single time. And if you're not sure where to put it where? At the end of the introduction paragraph. Nice. All right. Good luck, English students. Let's write some good thesis statements in these essays. Bye.